Welcome to Shonen Flop Chib, a first impressions mini-episode where we talk about the first chapter of the series we'll be covering in depth next week. I'm Jordan, and with me today, as usual, is my co-host, David. Say hi, David.
Hi, David.
What's the name of the series we're covering this week, David?
Oh, man, we're doubling our pleasure with Double Taisei.
Oh, yeah. 2 times Taisei. All right, now, yeah, so the series we're reading today is called Double Taisei. It is by Fukuda Kentarou, and its run dates are May 20th, 2019 to November 25th, 2019. So, yeah, I didn't clear that year barrier. It's at 28 chapters and 3 volumes, so makes sense.
That's actually a little bit on the longer side, though, because usually it's more like the 19 to 22 range. I bet the author almost thought he was going to make it, and then Shonen Jump was like, Shonen Jump was like, no. Shonen Flop was like, come on, buddy, you're with us now. Shonen Jump was like, no, I don't think so.
We were like, it's a flop. I don't know, actually. We haven't read that, so I don't know. But maybe, maybe he saw that coming in the future, so we will see.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, for this chapter, let me go over the fucking plot summary. Sei Tendo is a messy, unfocused folk punk busker who loves getting into trouble, while his twin brother Tai is a clean and polished shogi prodigy about to go pro at a young age. But oh man, this is nuts. They're secretly the same person!
What?
I know! Taisei Tendo, because it's like the combo of both their names, they inhabit the same body, and that's the name they go by a lot. Tai is awake in the day, while Sei only comes out at night. When their childhood friend Kanade is just straight up sexually harassed by a popular middle schooler sexual harassment YouTube channel, which apparently exists.
Yeah, they're just like sexual harassment brackets gone sexual.
We paid this middle schooler like 100,000 yen for her panties. Like, holy shit, man.
Right? Some fucking weird shit.
What the fuck? Thankfully, Sei shows up to save her, but winds up getting his ass kicked and his guitar broken. This means that the next day, during an important shogi match, Tai must play with Sei's injuries, causing him to play so slowly that it becomes night, and Tai begins to lose consciousness. As Tai loses consciousness, he reveals that he and Sei used to play shogi against one another, and despite the fact that Tai is known as the prodigy, he could never beat Sei once. Sei then wakes up and takes over the game for Tai, and that is where the chapter ends.
I guess it wouldn't have made sense if they always tied. If you see what I'm saying.
Sucked.
Alright, and that's all the material I had prepared for this week.
Yeah, that's it. Bye, David. Bye.
Also, I feel like this really was a description we should have alternated reading if there ever was a time. But fuck it, whatever.
That's, you know what, you're actually right. We should have, but fuck it, whatever. It was so short is the thing. Like, if it was longer, I totally would have done that, but it was just like,
it's fine. So Jordan, though, I feeling that you didn't super duper love this. What were your first impressions?
You're wrong. I actually liked this.
Really? Oh, well, because I thought this series was really fucking stupid.
So I've read this chapter twice, once like months before, and for whatever reason, this time I enjoyed it a lot more. I appreciated the characters more. I thought they were kind of likable. I think there is sort of an interesting thing going on with their situation where it's like they're brothers who care about each other a lot and stuff like that. And they had this kind of interesting relationship. That said, it's dumb. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is clearly a flawed series.
I feel like you appreciate things that are so bad it's good. Like, this seems
I don't like it because it's so bad it's good. I think it has some genuinely good elements. It just also has some not great elements.
I guess. Oh, man. I feel like my real struggle is I had a lot of trouble following what the fuck was happening because they kept, like, trying to want to have, like, a bunch of twists. So they couldn't really tell you anything directly. Yeah. So they're like, Tai's the pro. No, Sei's the pro. Tai's the pro. But actually, Sei's the pro. Trying way too hard to get shock value that you just withhold. It's like, I really hate when series are coy for no reason. Like, even One Piece does this because probably Oda doesn't even have the idea at the time, but it just felt very blatant. Like, the series was withholding information very inorganically just so they could set up all of these weird plot twists.
That is fair. And to be fair, I mentioned I enjoyed this far more on my second reading than my first reading, and that's because I already knew everything on my second reading, so I could focus on things that maybe I didn't pick up on the first read-through.
That's fair.
Because I do remember my first read-through, I had a way more negative response to this.
Mm-hmm.
And I say read-through, it was only this chapter, so I'm still not spoiled for the rest of the series. I'm like David, who listened to the Shonen Fiasco episode on it.
Rest in peace. I still love how the next series they were going to cover was Stealth Symphony, and they just gave up after they read that, I guess.
Oh, no! I just kind of noticed things that were more charming. I liked Sei's little friend group. I liked the weird cop that had a Hitler mustache for some reason.
The wholesome cop, he's like, why, you making all the noise? You gotta play louder. Japanese people need your energy.
Japan needs energy? Yeah, like, what?
The series seems to be good at little background jokes. Like, I think my favorite moment in this chapter was when the dude's opponent is like calm and collected, he's drinking tea, and he's like, oh, I would never be nervous, even because when he's like running late. And then when Sai shows up, you see like a very small thing that his hand starts shaking. And I thought that was really, really cute.
That's the thing, this series has a lot of little cute touches. I think on the broad strokes, like the overall things that happen, it does struggle. The conceit is very confusing.
Yeah.
It's kind of a Tyler Durden thing from Fight Club, you know? Like, main character goes to sleep, Brad Pitt wakes up.
Story of my life. I'm actually Brad Pitt's alter ego,
Edward Norton.
Radbit.
Oh, that too. Radbit.
Yeah, that's actually what we're going to call every segment of this episode now. It's the Radbits. Yeah, it's actually Haru no Go is really the series that reminded me a lot.
Dude, so much. So fucking much, but go ahead.
I feel like a struggle of the series is he's going to have to keep doing suboptimal ideas because that series just took, I guess, all kind of like the easy ideas. And so he's going to have to keep doing really weird or esoteric ways of handling the gameplay just to avoid the criticism that's too similar to that series.
I saw your guess where you said that you think shogi becomes less important over time. I agree, because here's the difference. Hikaru no Go, you read that series, a lot of that series is about Go.
Yeah.
They did not talk about the mechanics of shogi once in this chapter. You're supposed to know what it is, and it's really not that important. The importance is the relationship between Tai and Sei. It is a flaw when you're talking about trying to make a series and the implication is it's going to be about shogi.
Yeah, I really don't know shogi, and I know it's like kind of like an Asian version of chess. I know it's definitely big in Japan, but I'm not sure where it originated. But I absolutely have no idea what the mechanics are or what anything means. So
me neither.
That's going to be a struggle, is if the author is going to explain things, or like you said, it's really just set dressing for like a drama series.
Well, you know, what Sei's issue is that he loses focus, and it's very possible that that's also the author's issue.
Yeah.
But it's funny, you mentioned Hikaru no Go, and yeah, that is absolutely a heavy shadow that looms over this series, you know? It is like, oh, I wanted to make Hikaru no Go, but shit, he already did Go. What if I did shogi instead?
Yep.
The art style itself is also very reminiscent of like an off-brand Hikaru no Go. There are aspects of how he draws like hair and eyes that just remind me so much of that series.
Yeah.
And once again, Hikaru no Go, even though the art style is similar, Hikaru's art is better.
Oh, yeah.
The art in Hikaru no Go is actually really good.
Yeah, I think the art in this is fine. I noticed this artist actually draws backgrounds like pretty consistently. I feel like though this ultimately feels like art that was plucked from the early 2000s. Like I really did not believe at first that this series was made in 2019. If someone said this came out in like 2004, like if this was the same age as Double Arts, I would have believed it.
Or if it was the same age as Hikaru no Go, right? Which came out in 2001, yeah.
Well, there you go.
No, it's very clear that is the inspiration. And that was a weird series that got popular. I don't think it got popular in America, actually.
They tried, and I think they canceled it on Toonami. But I mean, it was by the creator of...
Wait, the anime aired on Toonami?
I think it was on Toonami Jetstream, which was like an OG streaming service. But yeah, I mean, the art, they had some crazy talent, wasn't it? It was either by the writer or the artist of Death Note.
That makes a lot of sense. I didn't know how that worked out, but that weirdly does make a lot of sense. Like, there was just like this delicateness to all the lines and stuff that was really cool.
Yeah.
Which is very surprising for a series involving two people sitting around bored for a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess it had to have something.
All right, let me check this right now. Yeah, it was by the artist of Death Note and Bakuman.
Oh, that's cool. You got anything else to say about the first chapter?
I appreciate that the bros actually have like a positive relationship with each other instead of it being like a fight club thing.
I did too. Their relationship is kind of interesting. I think Sei is significantly more interesting than Tai, just because Tai seems like way too much of like a good, perfect boy who never does anything bad, whereas Sei is just a complete fucking mess, so that's relatable.
Yeah, I think that's really it for me though on my initial notes on this first chapter.
I like how their friend like knows them well enough where it's just like she knows exactly what is happening when Sei is waking up. So when she calls to him, she doesn't call for Tai. She's like, Sei, you're playing a game of shogi. Wake up.
I know exactly what's going on right now.
She is on the ball. Also, their mom is hot.
Yeah, MILF Central.
Oh, yeah. We got another sexy MILF bartender.
I don't think that's been a collection, but we can keep an eye out for it.
Well, you know. But yeah, you're right. The backgrounds do look really nice. There is a real sense of place that you don't see in a lot of other manga.
So, Jordan, though.
David, what do you think's going to happen next?
All right, so my three guesses are the brothers eventually get the ability to switch between the two. Because, like, one of the brothers always like, oh, I wonder what it would be like in the sunlight and stuff like that. The second one, as you mentioned, shogi is going to become less important over time. And third, I think their dad is either going to just never be relevant or he's going to be the final boss of the series.
Does make sense, yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome, David. You try. I respect that.
You too, buddy.
Thank you. My guesses are there's going to be a moment where Tai and Sei are able to talk to each other on, like, the astral plane or something, and it's going to be like, oh, man, I've never actually got a chance to talk to you, even though you've always been there. Oh, my God, it's true! Wow! The next guess I have is that their mom has more trouble with money than she's letting on, and Taisei will start using prize money to help her with the finances. And the last thing is, I think this starts a pattern where just as Tai is about to lose something, Sei wakes up, and probably vice versa.
So by a pattern, how many times would you say it needs to occur for you to count that?
In 28 chapters? I don't know. I'm going to say 4 times.
4 times? All right. Ooh, selling it high.
A bit high, I know, yeah.
And then speaking of chapters, though, would you read another 10 chapters of this?
I would. I don't know if it's going to be great. You know, there's issues there that I clearly see, but, like, this series seems very strange, and I would at least like to just see what the fuck happens, you know? For a bit, at least. How about you?
I'm going to disagree. I don't know. I feel like nothing really captured me, and it just felt very confusing in a series that you have to read a few times to understand, as opposed to Look Back, where you had to read it a few times to get the full impact of the quality of it. Just, I'm like, if I only had to read...
this is obviously nowhere near as good as Look Back. I'm absolutely not. But I see what you mean,
yeah. That's what I'm saying, is Look Back, the fact that you can read it multiple times is a positive, while this is a negative. So I just wanted to clarify why we didn't say that was bad for Look Back, that you should read it multiple times. While this, it's like, do I really have to fucking read it? Like, read every chapter twice to understand what's going on?
Oh, if that's the case, if it turns out that, like, in order for me to appreciate the next like 10 chapters, I have to read it twice, then that's a problem. That's absolutely an issue. Because I'm not gonna do that. That's 20 chapters. There, you just double it up then.
Right?
So maybe, would you read another 10 chapters, or would you read the next 5 chapters twice, David?
I'd rather read 10 chapters.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, so what's your power word?
I had 2, just in honor of this series. So 2 different power words. First one was flippant, and
nice.
The second one was overthink. How about you?
Redundant. I don't know. There's 2 guys. You gotta read it twice.
Yep.
I don't know if that really makes sense.
I get it.
You get it.
That perfectly makes sense, my friend. Worry not.
Repetition, maybe. I don't know. There, repetitive and repetition. Those are my 2. Redundant and repetition. Those are my 2, yeah.
You just did like my idea of having 2. Maybe we'll have to make 2 6-word summaries.
No, that would be even worse.
And then guess what? It's time for the Q&A.
Oh, yeah.
And guess what? We've got some fresh faces asking us questions, so I'm very excited about this. All right, you ready?
Oh, hell yeah.
First question comes from Discord user Torch Black. Given the already semi-frequent hiatus scheduling of a lot of the bigger Jump series, do you guys think it would be better for the magazine overall and maybe lead to less flops if Jump went bi-weekly or had a dual roster that alternated every week?
Yeah. That should be bi-weekly. Maybe a rotating roster, as they put it. That makes a lot of sense.
I think so, too. I think having 2 sets would be awesome, and then maybe...
Oh, dude. Oh, the power word should have been dual. There we go.
Dual.
duel. All right.
But yeah, so I think that's a great idea. And then I wonder what would be better if they did it seasonal. So like someone was on for like maybe 3 months and then 3 months off or something, just because that's probably easier than having an A-B team. And then I also wonder if maybe like comedy series where it's only like maybe 10 to 12 pages, and that would still be weekly just to add a sense of continuity to the magazine.
That is a good point. There are pros and cons between the two options. For if it was seasonal, yeah, that would be like you work really hard for like 3 months of the year, maybe 6 months, and then the next you get it off or whatever.
Yeah.
Or yeah, you just work constantly, just a little bit lighter. I feel like the second one might be better, but just for the economic status, I don't know. I don't know though.
Yeah.
I would have to talk to an actual Japanese mangaka who has done this for a lot of time. So yeah, I guess we gotta get Alexi back on anyway.
Let me see. The next question comes from the Discord community as a whole. Drums or flats when you're eating chicken wings, Jordan?
Drums.
I'm a flats guy.
Really?
Tell me why your opinion's wrong on this.
It's got like a handle, man. It's a built-in little handle. It's easy to eat. You got like one bone, you're done. With a flat, it's like, oh, I gotta push the thing through. I gotta rip off the end, pull that extra bone out. It's just too much work. I don't get it.
It's about the experience. And it means you really I feel like you get 100% coverage with the flats. With the drums, I feel like I've left something behind. You know, like I could have done better. I really could have pushed myself to eat more of the wing.
Nah, I disagree. I think the drums are just more convenient, and, you can eat that piece of marrow at the end. It's pretty nice.
Well, it sounds like we'll get wings, because it'll be perfect.
I mean, I'm down for all types of wings. I won't turn down a flat. It's just like,
Yeah. The next question comes from Hindo, who asks, what would the anime opening for Shonen Flop look like? Better yet, when are we getting the full OP? So, Jordan, this is definitely a question for you.
It's a dark room, and then there's just light from one side to the other side, illuminating you and me just sitting around a table reading shitty Shonen Jump manga or whatever. And then it flashes to us riding on a motorcycle with shopping bags.
And in the foreground, you just see me running.
Yeah. Yeah, you see, like, the great shadow of Tokyo Shinobi Squad over us, and we get together and we get ready to fight.
And... It starts to rain, and I look down, and you see the JPEG from Beast Children at my feet. And it just fades out, and you see a shooting star. But then it goes up, and you see the Gomez moon.
Yeah, that's how it ends. It ends on a Gomez moon.
You know what? If we get $1,000 in Patreon money, we'll pay someone anime to make Shonen Flop the opening.
No, wait, here's what it is. It's the Gomez moon, and then in front of it, there is a shadow of Chainsaw Man.
I was going to say Fukuda.
Fukuda. Fukuda's on the moon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, God. What if it's just like, it's all just end pieces of anime that just keeps going and going? So it's like the anime open that ends like 14 times, and you really don't. So it just fades to black like 8 times.
Yeah.
We'll ask Jeff to help us make the most stereotypically possible ending opening of all time.
Jethro? Yeah.
Jethro. Yeah. Jethro, the robot.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then Jordan, what song is going to play during it?
Oh, man. So it's gotta be like an 80s prog song. Maybe something by Styx. Like Come Sail Away or something. Nah, that doesn't go hard enough.
No.
You gotta have something upbeat, something really like a little bit jazzy maybe.
Yeah. How about Crystal Dolphin?
I don't know that one.
Oh, I'll send it to you. That's a great song. It's like the song people play when you get caught in Among Us back when that was a thing.
Is Among Us not a thing anymore?
Nah, people don't really play it as much. At least my friends don't.
Wow.
I used to play like twice a week and then just kind of ended last October. I know, it's a real shame.
Among Us gave me anxiety.
Yeah, I just kind of got tired of it.
I was like, oh no, I don't want people to find out.
And then Jordan, where can people find the full opening theme song for Shonen Flop?
On the Patreon.
They sure can. We already uploaded that, the full opening and ending. And of course, if we ever change the theme song again, we'll do that. So if you want to hear the full version, you'll have to subscribe there. Thanks for the question of thank you for letting us plug our Patreon. Very organically. I love it. The next question is from ZZ Digital, who asks, if you were isekai, what would your cheat skill be?
So I don't know shit about isekai, David. I've really only seen that time I got reincarnated as a slime and I read that Cheat Slayer chapter. What will your cheat skill be?
Mine would be the anti-isekai, where I would be immune from being in isekais. So as soon as I enter any isekai, I would immediately leave, and it would be great. It would be called That Time I Didn't Get Isekai'd. Jordan, so what do you think?
My cheat skill would be Wolverine's powers, just because that's cool. Literally no other reason than that's cool.
Yeah, that time I got reincarnated as Wolverine.
As Wolverine.
That sounds pretty great to me.
That's a good idea, actually.
I like how Kazuma in Konosuba, his ability isn't so much he has a real ability, it's just he just kind of steals all the inventions in the real world and creates them in the fantasy world and sells them. So like he like invents like a rice cooker and like sells it to people and becomes really rich.
What you're saying is that I should go back and watch more Konosuba then.
Yes, it's literally someone was like, let me make an isekai about how fucking stupid isekais are.
Oh, great. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I should go back because I don't think I picked up on that. I was just like, man, he's a dick and this seems stupid, but it sounds like actually that was the point.
Yes, that's the point. Is he's a really shitty person. A monster like kidnaps him and she like puts him like in her breast and they're like, we'll save him. He's like, no, this is fine. You don't have to rescue me yet. And that was in the movie. So the last question is we've got 2 from T. Wolfwood using his special Patreon power. So that's right, listener. If you are a king of the forest, we have to answer your questions. Asterisk. But yes.
Unless they're racist.
Within reason, we will make sure to always answer your questions in the Q&A, or at least give you priority. He also is the only level 3 patron right now. So if we bring up what series should we cover to the level 3 patrons, he just gets to pick. So if you want T. Wolfwood to stop having so much power, you too should subscribe for just $2 a month.
Money buys power. It's America.
And you do get a lot of cool shit on our Patreon. But shilling aside, he asks, question 1, what manga are you looking forward to covering most on Shonen Flop?
Zombie powder.
Yeah. That's definitely the one. I will say I also am excited for some series we want to cover if we do a mini-series. So as we talked about, really a series over probably 35 or so chapters is just too long for us to cover in our normal format. But we really would love to be able to do some mini-series covering series like MO, Siren, 8 Grav Boys, where their length is just too long for a single guest to read it. But it could be fun doing 5 or 10 chapters at a time in like a mini-series. So that is something I'm very excited about when we get a chance to do that. Because that's why I know some of the fan favorites we just can't cover because of how long they are. The next question is, what flop series has the best drip? So drip has really been on our mind after we had our Bleach recording with Alexi.
This is a good question.
Maybe Neolation. That main character, man, he had the hacker man vibe.
Yeah, he kind of did. Maybe Double Arts? I don't know.
Arts? I guess.
Nah. I don't know if we've read a series or been like, damn, those guys know how to fucking dress.
Because one of the best drawn series was Time Paradox Ghost Rider, and people were just dressed like normal people.
Shit. Maybe Omega Daki Zoo? Nah.
I'm staying with my answer, but you're welcome to keep thinking on it.
Yeah, I'll just fucking go with Double Arts, whatever. I don't really have a better one. I gotta think a lot more about this, basically, is what I'm saying.
It's a challenge for Jordan.
Yeah, I'm not very fashion-minded.
Oh, I just figure you're just very not minded. Got him.
Fuck you. Damn.
Dab.
Bye, everybody. I'm never doing this podcast again.
All right, I'll do the shoutouts. Okay, but yeah, so getting into the shoutouts. Jordan, thank you so much for editing the Chibi. I really appreciate it. You've been doing a lot of awesome work, especially with this and all the other Patreon content we've been doing.
Oh, thanks, David.
I also want to say, be sure to join the Shonen Flop Discord. Come hang out with us and talk about anime, games, or whatever else is on your mind. We also have a book club and do regular movie nights. You can find a link to in the show notes. Also, though, if you're enjoying our podcast and want to help us keep going, as we talked about, consider subscribing to our Patreon. We have a ton of awesome perks ranging from exclusive mini episodes, deleted scenes, and you can even help pick what series we're going to cover next. Find it on patreon.com/shonenflop. And if you're not ready for a regular commitment, consider buying some merch. We have a ton of awesome designs, including some new ones, which I was super excited. We finally got the Gomez Moon shirt and the Mashlab Punching Harry Potter shirts. Along with, as episodes come out, we'll start having the cover art as art and try and bring out some old favorites. We're just working with the original artist to really get the permissions to do that. And even actually, some of these proceeds even go to the original artist, as well as we really just want to thank them for all of the awesome work they do. No worries though, if you're not able to financially help out our show, if you could still like, rate, review, or share our show, it really would mean a lot to us and helps build out our audience. Even telling one friend to check us out means the world. You can find us at Twitter at ShonenFlopcast and our website shonenflop.com. We're on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, or wherever else you get your podcast.
That's right, listener. Thank you so much for joining us today discussing Double Taisei. And now we must go. So David, fucking say it!
Keep on flopping, floppers.
Bye!